Hi everyone. Today we are going to be doing a small size skull dog sweater, and we're going to be starting that in just a minute. Okay, hi everyone. Today we are going to be doing a small size skull dog sweater. So I've not done a small size dog sweater for you before. All the other ones have been extra small. So when I do a small size, instead of 40 stitches, I do 70 stitches. So we're going to want to start by chaining 70. And you don't need a very long tail on this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I'm using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, or a G. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70. Okay, so now we are going to join our stitches with a slip stitch. And you got to make sure it's not twisted. Okay, so we're going to go in there and make our slip stitch. We're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do half double crochets all the way around. You should end up with 70 stitches. Now, we're going to do this for 15 rows, okay? Now, I'm making this for about a 9-pound dog. That's why I'm using a 4.5 crochet hook. But if you want to do it for a dog that's a little bit bigger, you could just go up in size of crochet hook. So you could do a 5 millimeter crochet hook or 5.5. Once you find that your stitches are just too loose, then again you'd want to add, instead of doing 70, you would want to add and do another amount. So, okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to go round and round and round with half double crochets for 15 rows, okay? So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do 15 rows. But one thing I'm going to remind you, which I have commented on other videos, is in order to make my stitches not go diagonally, when I connect at the end of each row, the first row I connect into the that second chain in my chain up 2. The next row I actually do a stitch into my slip stitch, and then instead of going into the chain 2, I go over into the stitch. Now, I just do that because I find otherwise my stitches go crooked. And that's how I get around that, and it works really good. Just make sure you always end up with 70 stitches. And there we go. So come back. Well, I'll come back when I've got 15 rows done. You come back when you've got 15 rows done. And we'll go to the next part. Okay, see you then. Okay, we're back now. So I've done my 15 rows. And now I'm going to chain up 2. 1, 2. Now, on the next 40 stitches, we're going to put half double crochets, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, halfway there, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Now we are going to work back and forth on these 40 stitches for 7 rows. So when you do 7 rows, come back. Okay? And now when I'm done 7 rows, I'll be back too. See you soon. Okay, so I'm back and I've done my 7 rows. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail. And I'm very loosely going to pull this through the loop. But I'm not pulling it tight. I'm leaving it loose, just so it doesn't come unraveled. Now I'm going back to the other side. And we're going to attach the yarn to the other side. So we had 70 stitches, right? So we just did 40, so that means I've got to count out 30 on here. So we're going to join our yarn. We're going to chain up 2. Then I'm going to count out 30. So half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, so we're going to chain 2 up. 1, 2, and we're going to turn. Now, I'm going to get you to watch me really closely. We're going to start our decreases for the legs, okay? So, we're going to go yarn over into the stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, okay? Then, we are going to go yarn over into the stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our crochet hook. We're going to go yarn over and we're going to pull through all 5 of those loops. So we have just now turned 2 stitches into 1. So by the end of this row, we're going to have 28 stitches. So we did this at this end, so we've decreased 1. And then we're going to do half double crochets to the last 2 stitches on the other side, okay? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and now we only want 1 more stitch, so we're going to have to turn these last 2 stitches into 1. So yarn over into the stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on the crochet hook, yarn over, pull it through all 5. That was our 28th stitch. Now we're going to go up and we're going to turn. Okay, so now we're going to do this until we have, well, we're going to do this so with that we have 7 rows. So our first, second, so this will be our 3rd row. So yarn over, so we're going to have 26 at the end of this. yarn over, into the loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. 5 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through all 5. That's 1 stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now we're getting to our 26. So yarn over, in through that stitch, grab your yarn over, in through the next stitch, grab your yarn, 5 loops on your crochet hook, pull your yarn through all 5, and that was 26. Okay, so 26, we have 4 more rows to do. So 26, then it'd be 24, 22, 20, 18. So we're going to do this until we have 18 stitches across, okay? And then you're going to meet me back here. So keep decreasing at each end. So right now we're at 28, 26, 24, 22, oh, hold on. We did 30, 28, 26. So 24, 22, 20, 18. Yes, so 18 rows. Come back when you've, or 18 stitches. Come back when you've got 18 stitches. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. I've got my 18 stitches. And, oops. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to attach it to the back with a slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to pull my loop long. And you know that one I told you not to pull tight? We're going to go back there and we are going to take the knot out and we're going to attach with a slip stitch to the other side. Now we're going to make a knot that we pull tight. So see, here we go. We've got little leg holes on each side now. Then our next step is we're going to make the neck. Be right back. So sorry about that. So we're going to chain up 2. We're going to go to our loop, make it little again. We're going to chain up 2. 1, 2. Now we had 40 stitches along the back and we have 18 along the front. So, or the front and back, whichever you want to call which. So we've got 40 and we've got 18. So we've got 58 stitches. So we want to do 58 half double crochets around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, so 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, which is what we wanted to get to, and then I'm gonna attach with the slip stitch into that second chain. So now this is the first row of the neck, okay, and we're gonna do 4 rows for the neck. So just like the bottom part, we are going to just keep going around and around and around, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we start on the applique part, which is the skull part to put on our dog sweater. So do this for 4 rows and then come back and we'll start on the next part. Okay, so I've done my 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got my loop. I'm gonna snip the yarn and make a knot. Okay, so now this is my basic small dog sweater. That's the design. So now I'm going to show you the applique in order to make it a skull and bone sweater. So we're going to take our white, we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Okay. We are going to make 6 single crochets in that first stitch. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to join with the slip stitch and we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch round. 1, 2. To get a total of 12 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're going to slip stitch that, chain up 1. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in the first stitch and 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So we're going to be going in multiples of 3. I'll show you what I mean to get to 18, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 into 1 stitch, and then 6 into next stitch, 7, 8 in 1 stitch, 9 by itself, 10, 11 in the next stitch, 12 by itself, 13, 14 in the next stitch, 15 by itself, 16, 17 in the next stitch, 18 by itself. Slip stitch. Chain up 1. Now we're doing multiples of 4, okay? I hope you understand what I mean when I say that. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2 in that first stitch, 3 and 4 are singles, 5 and 6 in 1 stitch, 7 to 8 are singles, 9, 10 in that stitch, 11 and 12 are singles. Oops, sorry. 13, 14 are in 1 stitch, 15 and 16 are singles. 17, 18 are in 1 stitch, 19 and 20 are singles. 21, 22 are together, 23, 24 are singles. And then we slip stitch, and chain up 1. Okay, so you see where we're going here? Okay, so we did 24, so we're always adding 6 stitches. So 24 plus 6 will be 30, so that means we're working in multiples of 5. So we go 1, 2 in that first stitch, 3, 4, and 5 are singles. 6, 7 are in 1 stitch, 8, 9, 10 are singles. 11, 12 are in 1 stitch, 13, 14, 15 are singles. 16 and 17 are in the same stitch. 18, 19, 20 are singles. 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Then 26, 27 are in 1 stitch, 28, 29, and 30 are singles. And then slip stitch, chain up 1. So I am making a skull, so I want it to take up a good amount of this. So I'm going to say 30 stitches for our skull is too small at this point. So we're going to go 36, which means we're doing multiples of 6. So 1, 2, go in the first stitch, 3 is a single, 4 is a single, 5 is a single, and 6 gets us to our first multiple of 6. Then we go 7, 8 in the next stitch, 9 is a single, 10 is a single, 11 is a single, and 12 gets us to our second multiple of 6, right? Then 13 and 14 in the next stitch, 15, 16, 17, and 18 brings us to our third multiple of 6. 19, 20 go in that first stitch, 21, 22, 23, 24 is our multiple of 6. 25, 26 go in our next stitch, 27 is a single, 28 is a single, 29 is a single, and 30 is a single, and that's our fifth multiple of 6. So 31, 32 are in the same stitch, 33, 34, 35, 36 is our multiples, our last multiple of 6, so 6 times 6. Connect it, chain up 1. Okay, so let's see how that's getting. I'm going to say another round. So we're going to do another round. And so 36 plus 6 is 42. So that means we're doing 7s. So 1, 2, go in that first stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, then 8, 9, go into that next stitch, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is our second multiple of 7. 15, 16, go in that next stitch, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is our third multiple of 7. So we're going to increase in the next one. So 22 and 23 go in that next stitch, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 is our fourth multiple of 7. 29 and 30 go in one stitch, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, then we're going to go 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. And then we're going to slip stitch. Okay? So now we're just going to look at this. Now that takes up, like when you look at your dog sweater, that takes up about 1/3 of the width here. So I think we're at the right space. So we're going to say make a circle of until you have 42 stitches, okay? Now here's how we're going to make it look like a skull. We're going to chain up 2. We're going to turn it around so we're on the wrong side, okay? And we're going to do, so we just did multiples of 7, so we're going to do 7 stitches, half double crochet back the way we came. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain up 2, and then we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's look at our skull now. So do you see how we have kind of a skull there? You know what? I'm not going to do 7. I think we need 8. So we did 7. We're going to make it 8. Doesn't seem wide enough. Maybe we'll go 9. Oops. So we'll do 9 half double crochets. Then we'll chain up 2 and we'll do 9 the other way and we'll see how it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's a better skull shape. Okay. I wonder if it should be bigger. Maybe one more round. So we did 42. I wonder if we should go 48. No, I think we're good. Okay, so we did 9. So we want to leave quite a long tail because we're going to have to use it to sew on our skull. So here we go. So there's our skull. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to want to make is our bone. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How's that look? That looks about right. 16. And then we'll go up 6. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay? Yeah, that's about right. So 23. Then we're gonna go like this. We're gonna we're gonna single crochet 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're gonna slip stitch into the next one. So we did 6 single crochets, slip stitch, and then we're gonna chain up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sorry, and then we'll go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets. Then we're going to slip stitch into the one we slip stitched on the way up. Now we did 16, right? Okay, so now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then this would be our slip stitch. Okay, the very last stitch is our slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1, so 7. Then we're going to do single crochets back down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slip stitch where we slip stitched before, so slip stitch, and then chain up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1 to turn, and we're doing 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then slip stitch. Okay. And then we want to cut a long tail because we're going to use that to sew it in. And we're going to pull it through our loop and make a knot. Okay, so far we've got our skull and we've got our bone. Okay. Now I'm just going to pause you. I have to go get some black yarn. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I got black. So we've got the bone, we've got the skull. Now you're probably asking yourself why I don't do 2 bones and make it like a cross bones. I don't do that because I always think, and this is funny, I always think to myself, well, there would only be 1 bone because the dog would be chewing on the other. Anyway, so we're going to do the eyeballs. So the eyeball holes, we need black, and we're chaining 2. We're going back into that, and we're putting 6 in the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, is that big enough? I think that's big enough. So we're going to cut a long tail again because we're going to have to use it to sew in. So there's 1 eye hole. So then do it again. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to put 6 in that first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're gonna slip stitch, leave a long tail for sewing. Okay, so there's our 2 skull holes. Okay, now we would need our darning needle because now we're going to start assembly. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. So I got my knitting bag so I don't have to keep running out. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is the eyeballs. We're going to pull the middles really tight and we're just going to weave in the middle parts of the eyeballs just into themselves. Okay, I just go around the center. Nothing fancy about it. Do it a few times, snip, and get rid of that tail. So there's that part. So then the next one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sew that in. I hope you can understand my directions because I do this a lot and I don't have any patterns written down. I just kind of wing it. So as if you've seen any of my other videos, I really do wing it. So I don't even have a pattern that you can follow. Sorry. Okay, so we got our eyeballs done. So now what I try and do, first we're going to get rid of this middle section here. Okay, we're just going to sew that in. Always kind of go a little back over what you've already stitched so that it's kind of like a bit of a back stitch, and that helps it not unravel. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, now to place the eyes. So what I try and do is I try and pick where I want them situated. So I go like this. Okay, so I want them in 2 rows, just above the middle towards the top corner. So then I put my needle on. Okay, and I kind of situate where I want that. And then I'm going all the way through the white, coming up through the black, going down through the black, going up through the black. The only time I went through the white was at the very beginning, okay? And I'm just fastening this on here. And I'm trying to go around the edges, as close to the edges as I can get. And then I just tie it off in the back. Multiple stitches. And this I would actually, as long as I'm within the black, I would catch my loop and do a proper knot. Okay, and then you never cut where your knot is. You always do a couple of extra stitches. Something I do when I make jewelry as well as when I do knitting and crocheting. Okay, snip that. That eyeball is on. Okay, so then we're going to take the other one and we're going to do the same thing. And like I said, I try and place it by the rows and such. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm just going to do the same thing. put some stitches through. And every skull that I make is just a bit different because I don't place the eyes exactly the same spot, and I don't make it exactly the same width. And as you have seen through my video, I really do kind of wing it. That's how I do everything I do. I really am a creative soul. And that makes everyone unique, right? You're not going to have any factory-made identical products from me. Okay. So like I said, in the back. Okay, through the loop once, twice, and then we're just gonna do that again. Okay, give it a snip. And there we go. We have the eyes on for our skull. Okay, so get rid of that piece. Now we're going to take a nice length of black yarn, and I am going to do nose. Now, whoops. Okay, so we're going to put our mouth down here, so we want our nose kind of here, I'm thinking. Yikes. And I do an upside down triangle. Right, and then we'll put our mouth down here. So we want it just a bit, we want it on the inside of our previous, and we're just going to keep going on the inside of these stitches. Pretty sure I do my noses upside down triangles. Maybe I should check that. Whoops. Okay. And I just keep filling up the nose. If you see any patches of white that you don't want to see, put another stitch. Go. I wonder if that's, oops. Okay, I'm going to put another stitch there. Okay. And then I'm just going to tie it off at the back. Okay, we'll give those a snip. Okay, now this is what we've got so far. Now I am going to do the mouth. Okay, so I'm gonna go in through the stitches. Okay, over to here. Okay, then I'm gonna go like this. Now I want to stitch, goes from here to here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another stitch that goes, and we don't want to catch that, from here to here. And then from here to here. Okay. And then we got to fill in this space. I skipped so that I can make my way backwards. Okay. And then we're going from here to here to here to there. To there. To there. And I'm kind of doing a lot of back stitching here. There. Here. Oops. To there. 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 Okay. Now, we're going to tie that off at the back. Okay. And we're going to just simply sew that up, because you never ever cut where you've knotted. Okay, and then we're going to snip. Okay, so that's it for the black. Now, that is our skull. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so my dog was barking, so I had to get someone to let her in. Okay, so now we have the skull done. We want to make sure that this is totally in the middle with the leg holes, and that it's folded perfectly, which it is. So this is totally the way it should be. Then we're going to place where we would want our bone and where we'd want our skull. So I would say, yeah, about there. So I'm just gonna make sure it's where I want it, and then I'm gonna safety pin it down. Okay, so we don't have any accidental movings while we're sewing. And if it does move a tad, well, that's okay. Okay. There we go. There. Okay, so we're going to move our bone out of the way for right now. Okay, so now we're going to take our thread for our skull. And just like the eyeballs, we're just going to sew it in. So I'm going to start by going in the red and coming up through the white. Okay, that first stitch. And you want to make sure that it's good so that you don't really see it. It's kind of tucked in. Now what I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm not catching the other side, okay? And I'm just going to start going around the skull. Just as close to the edge as I can. Okay. And I'm not pulling hugely tight. I'm just going around. I'm not doing teeny tiny stitches, but I'm not doing overly long stitches either. We just want to make sure that we're getting it good all the way. And that we left a long enough tail that we can go around the whole thing. Okay, so we're getting up to the top. We want to make sure that it's even. So I'm kind of lining it up with the row above, making sure that stays lined up. Okay, and again, those pins will help you with that. I use safety pins because I'm accident prone and I don't want to jab myself. Okay. So try and make the stitches kind of even. And like I said, because this is handmade, none of it will be perfect, but you want to try and keep it fairly decent. There we go. Coming into the home stretch. And again with the bottom, we want to kind of line it up with the row that it's on. There we go. And then we are just going to end up where we started. We're going to turn to the other side. Go on the other side, and we're just, as long as we're behind the white, it won't show through. And you'll see with your stitches, you can see where the white is. We're going to do an actual knot. And then a few stitches, because you never cut at your knots, right? Okay. So there's that one. And let's remove the safety pins, see how we did. There we go. There is our skull on our sweater. So we just want to double check we're nice and even for our holes there. Okay. Okay. So we can get rid of this. Put our pin to the side. Next, we're going to be doing our bone. So we want the bone, I always put it just flat. So here's what I'm looking at. This is probably me overthinking things, and I do that, and I'll be the first to admit. So I have 3 at the top here that I've left. So I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3 from the skull, okay? Then I'm going to pin it here. And following that same line, that same row, I'm going to pin it here. Okay. Now, we also have, my children have decided to connect all my safety pins together. Yes, yes they have. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't hide that. Okay, we need to hide this back thread. Normally you do this before you pin it down, but I'm very happy with the placement of this pinning, so I am going to do it with it pinned in place. And it's just that tail from where we started the crochet. Okay, there. We'll snip. There, and that's done. Okay. So, now, these little things we have to sew around as well. And we want them to stay. So let's see. This one, I'm going to put it right on the line that the skull head is on. Okay, which means this one needs to be on the same line. Okay, and then I know, right? I put too much effort into my dog sweaters. It's just I love dogs, and I think they look so cool. And this is one of my really good selling sweaters. In fact, this one I'm making is for an order. Okay, so, and then this one, so if this goes up over 1, 2, so this should go down over 2. So I'm going to put it like this. And put this one roughly the same. So it ends up in the same row. I know, a lot of pins for an itty bitty bone, but it'll look so cool when we're done. Okay, so now we're gonna attach our thread, or put our pin thread. I don't know if I have enough thread for this one. And we're just gonna start just there and come up through the white. There. And we're just gonna do little stitches. And I put my hand underneath so I make sure that we aren't sewing it together, because that would be such a shame. Okay, I'm moving my pin out of the way. I'm putting this straight down in there. And then I'm going to come back up over here. You also don't want to sew your pin in either. So I'm going to crinkle this up, go through, just like we did with the skull. We're going around. And like I said before, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be nice. Okay, there we go. We did that section, so we can take that pin out of our way. There we go. Okay, and now we're doing this one. Okay, and you notice I'm turning my sweater as I'm sewing. Okay. Okay. Take this one out. There, that's that part of the bone. And then, like I said, when I'm doing a straight stretch, I try and follow one of my rows. Oh, my arm's right in the way. Sorry, guys. Here, I'll go from this end, maybe. Okay, so I'm following the row. Okay. And I'm not removing those pins yet because I still have to do the other side. Okay, so in the white, out the white, but you're going through that red too. There, and I followed my row. Now we can manipulate our pins so we can get in there nicely. Okay. I'm just going to turn this again. And the key to any good applique is pinning, whether it be quilting or knitting or crocheting or cross stitch. Any kind of applique where you put one material onto another, pinning is key. Okay, so I've got this one done, so this pin can go. We can tidy up that bone a bit. Okay, this is actually one of the things that I like the least, is this part, is because I'm so picky about things and I'm always worried that it's not going to turn out nicely, and that's why I'm telling you that it doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm also telling myself at the same time, it does not have to be perfect. Handmade things are unique and precious because of their flaws. There are few flaws. I'm not saying like mess up the whole thing, but you know what I'm saying? Ooh, I think I'm gonna run out of yarn. Okay, and again I'm on a straight stretch, so I'm gonna try and line it up with a row. Okay, so I finished this. I can get rid of this pin. Tidy up my bone. And then this area so I can take out the pin. Oops. Tidy up the bone. So I'm coming to the end here. And then all we have left to do is to hide our inside threads, which is no trouble at all. And then we are done. Now, you might look at this and think it's too short. If you want to add rows, you add rows. Now, the thing to remember, this is not meant to be a dress. This is meant to be a sweater. It's not meant to cover the whole body. It's just meant to go to the bottom of the ribs. Okay? But there's nothing saying that when you make your own, you can't go longer or shorter, or smaller crochet hook, or bigger crochet hook, whatever your heart desires. Okay, so now we're going to hide our inside threads, and we shouldn't have many of them. So we have the one where we started our armholes on the one side. Remember, always go back over some of your stitches so that it's not inclined to unravel. There we go. And like any other time I've said to, I hope that you like this video, and if you have a comment, please feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe, and if you want notifications of when I upload new videos, hit the little bell. It's always a pleasure. I would love to see what other people have come up with this pattern. Like I said, I don't have it written out, but if you can do it through following this video, I would love to see what you've come up with. And feel free to embellish. Like, I was thinking to myself that, you know, if you like sugar skulls, you could crochet up a flower and put a flower underneath the black for the eye holes. Wouldn't that be kind of interesting? Or put flower decorations, or use variegated yarn for your skull, or, you know, now that you know how to do all of it, and if you want to do crossbones instead of a single bone, feel free to do that. I mean, there's so many options. And now, like, the first part is my basic dog sweater for size small dogs. Just like that. So you can take just the base before I even did the skull, and you can add to that. Add a skirt, or put on a different applique. Instead of doing a skull, do I don't know, a tractor, or maybe a whole bunch of flowers. Or Valentine's Day is coming up, you could put a whole bunch of hearts. You can turn it into a tutu. Put some, here we go. We got a lot of threads. Put some tulle on the bottom and some ribbon and turn it into a tutu. I mean, you can do so many things with this dog pattern. I just have not had the time to do all my different ideas. So here we go. That is our finished small dog sweater. Skull dog sweater. There you go. It looks so cute. Now this one I did with a 4.5 inch or 4.5 millimeter hook, and that would probably fit about maybe a 9 to 12 pound dog. 9, it might fit a little bit loose. 12, it might fit a bit tight. But there you go. Hope you like it. Hit that like and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.